Hello everybody and welcome back to another modelled writing video. If you've seen our videos before, then you will know how we structure these. If you're new here, welcome, and today we will look at two task 1 questions and we will approach them with, we'll think of thoughts and ideas, we'll put together a plan, and then we will do the write-up as if we were in the IELTS exam. So this is brilliant practice if maybe you've booked your IELTS exam, maybe you just want to find out some more information on how to answer the task 1 type of questions. We've also got task 2 videos as well if that's something that you're interested in. So yes, today we'll look at the task 1, and as we go along we'll talk about tips and tricks to get those top band scores, which is what we're after. Okay, well, without further ado, let's go into the first task, which is going to look at a table. Now, tables aren't as common, I would say. However, they do, of course, they do come up here and there, so it's definitely something to be aware of, not something to skip, as there is a chance that a table might come up. A table is something that can be a little bit intimidating if you haven't looked at one before. So today will be really good for you if you've not done so much practice with tables, and you'll see that actually once we break it down, we approach it in the same way we would every task 1. Same approach, same structure. We're just dealing with a slightly different data formats, but we'll have a look and you can follow along at home. So the question, the table below shows the number of hours per week that people in different age groups spend doing various activities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to summarize by selecting and reporting the main features and also make comparisons where relevant. Now, this is really important because you are being critiqued on how well you can almost pick or pull out the most important or striking or interesting parts of the data. You're not expected to talk about every single part of it. Okay, so we have, what are we looking at then? Let's think about this a bit more. Number of hours per week that people in different age groups spend doing various activities. So in other words, how people spend their free time. Okay, and here we have it. This is the table itself. We've got the age group on the left here, different categories. And then we've got the activities, so watching TV, socializing, using the internet, playing sports, and studying. Okay, initial thoughts then. Using the internet has many hours, a lot more than other activities. Studying is also very high. On the other hand, sports is, we're not doing so much with sports. The hours are quite low there. Okay, so you can see that we are approaching this as we would a bar chart, a line graph, a pie chart, any of the other ways of displaying data. And we can think about our groups, which is really important. So the planning stage is very important for task 1 and 2, of course. You have 20 minutes to answer this question, and we're looking for a minimum of 150 words. So you might think, it's not a lot of time, I need to get straight into the answer. However, it's still important to plan because this is what's going to help us stay on track and really help us focus on the question at hand, because if we start to waver and time is of the essence, so if we lose track of what we're doing, then that's going to put us at a disadvantage. So a plan is essential. Okay then, so group one. Well, we could group in a variety of ways. We could group in terms of age. We could group in terms of activity. I might group in terms of the higher hours. So maybe we'll focus on using the internet, also studying. TV is, ooh, it could go in either group. I think maybe we'll put it in the first group. There we go. Watching TV. So then we'll compare this group with the second group, which are lower in hours. Socializing, that's with a Z, obviously. We'll talk about it with an S for the, as this is British English. Maybe we'll change that there. Socializing and playing sports is, there we go, just to keep continuity there. They're on the lower side of how people are spending their time. So people aren't doing this as much as watching TV, for example. Okay, so the overview then. Let's talk about using the internet. Is the most popular way in which all ages spend their time. So the overview is our sweeping statement. We want to make a generalization, really. So I know that, for example, the younger groups, 15 to 24, spend more time studying. However, that's okay for the overview. We're just doing a sweeping statement, if you like. And we're not going into detail with the overview. That's for later, for the body. Okay, so we have our plan. That's really going to help us stay on track. Now we can think about our write-up. So we have the question. We also have some nice words here which help with they help with us not repeating ourselves. So of course we don't want to always use the same words. So we've got some nice verbs here to help with decrease, stay the same, increase. And when we combine them with adverbs, they make for really nice sentences and strong ways to express ourselves here. Okay, so this will help. Of course, you won't have this in the exam, but you will have your notes and they'll be invaluable to you in the exam, your plan. Alrighty, so you might think, oh, how do we start? There should be a space. How do we start the essay? I'm not sure what to do. Well, the first thing we need to do is paraphrase the first sentence here. In other words, we want to write it in our own words. Okay, so the table below shows the number. We don't need to paraphrase every single word. So we could say the table provided displays the amount of time in hours that individuals from various age ranges spend their the amount of time maybe spend on their hobbies, because they are all technically hobbies. Okay, let's read it back and we can edit as we go. The table provided displays the amount of time in hours that individuals from various age ranges spend on their hobbies. Maybe some commas there would be quite nice. In hours. Okay then, so we paraphrase as much as we can. Obviously, we're aware that we want to keep the meaning, so we don't want to paraphrase every single word here, but as much as we can do is perfect. Okay, so then we want to jump straight into our overview in a different paragraph. I quite like to open this up with in general because we're making a sweeping statement here. So in general, and we don't need to use capitals when we're referring, we can just write as we would, unless it's a proper noun, of course. Using the internet is the most popular way in which the majority of age groups spend their is the most popular activity or leisure activity for the majority of age groups. In general, using the internet is the most popular leisure activity for the majority of age groups. Okay, sweeping statement there. We're not going into detail, remember. Then we could say something to contrast this or to further this a little bit. We could say maybe whereas playing sports has the least hours committed to it, or playing sports whereas the least hours belonged to the least belong to playing sports, maybe. Maybe we'll use present tense because that matches the question. So that's another point to mention. So is, belongs, spend. Yeah, that's okay. In general, using the internet is the most popular leisure activity for the majority of age groups, whereas the least hours belongs to playing sports. There we go. Okay then, so we have our paraphrased initial paragraph here. Then we move into our overview. So now we can get stuck into the first group using the data from the table itself. And we'll draw the main features. That's what we're doing. Okay. So our first group was using the internet, studying, and probably watching TV as well. And we can group them together with media maybe, or technology or something like this. Let's open this up. The most, or the activities that appealed to all ages are based around media such as using the internet, or based around technology, sorry, let's do that. Studying is not necessarily using technology, but perhaps it can do. So we'll state that maybe. Such as using the internet. Okay, this category maybe appealed most to 65 and over, or to ages 65 and over with 24 hours. Okay, let's move into Watching TV. Watching TV, on the other hand, comma, on the other hand, was most prevalent with ages 15 to 24 at 10 hours. Studying does not, so we're not using contractions in our essays. We're writing the whole words here. Studying does not necessarily mean technology. However, it can. Does not mean using technology. However, it can be included. And yet again, 15 to 24 age. And yet again, the 15 to 24 age range comes, or maybe not comes out on top, or has the highest hours at 20. Okay, should we read it back and see how we're doing? The activities that appeal to all ages are based around technology, such as using the internet. This category appealed most to ages 65 and over, with 24 hours. Watching TV, on the other hand, was most prevalent with ages 15 to 24 at 10 hours. Studying does not necessarily mean using technology, however, it can be included, and yet again, the 15 to 24 age range has the highest hours at 20. I'm thinking back now. Studying does not necessarily, let's make this a bit simpler. Studying can mean using technology. Or can be aided with technology. And yet again, the 15 to 24 age range has the highest hours at 20. Okay, so we're comparing, we're contrasting, we're picking the main features here, and but we're not picking on absolutely everything. Let's just add in a nice line, followed by maybe 25 to 34 coming in coming after the youngest group at 16 hours. Okay, so that's quite a nice first paragraph, grouping them based around technology. So now let's talk about socializing and playing sports, and we'll compare and contrast the two different groups here. So let's think about this a bit more. Socializing and playing sports. However, both contained the least amount of hours for all age groups. We can talk about that socializing had the highest out of playing sports for 25 and 34s. The 25 to 34 age range spends present spends not 15, 25 to 34. So we're always editing as we go. Spends the most time socializing out of any ages, or compared to all ages. All ages at 6 hours. This figure drops by 1%. We can talk about how it's, oh no, there's 2% here. Drops 4, 3, 2, 1. We can comment on that maybe. By 1% each age group after 35 to 44. So we can group some, we can make sort of broader statements. We don't always have to be specific. That's quite a nice way to include some data there. Okay, let's talk about sports taking a real turn after 45, after 44 goes into the decimal units here. So the only activity to hold less than 1 hour is playing sports after the age of 44. Of 44. Now I like some brackets, so let's put in this, so we could say seeing 0.5, but 0.5 hours, and then brackets 45 to 54. We're checking the numbers are correct here. Uh, 0.5 hours, 0.3 hours, brackets 55 to 64, and the lowest 0.1 hours, 65 plus. Okay, let's read this back. Socializing and playing sports, however, both contain the least amount of hours for all age groups. The 25 to 34 age range spends the most time socializing compared to all ages of 6 hours. This figure drops by 1% for each age group after 35 to 44. Yep. The only activity to hold less than 1 hour is playing sports after the age of 44, seeing 0.5 hours, brackets, 45 to 54, 0.3 hours, 55 to 64, and the lowest 0.1 hours, 65 plus. We won't forget the full stop there. Okay, I think that's a good attempt at this question. Let's see how many words there are. Okay, so that brings us to 191 words. So we're looking for 150 minimum for our task 1 questions. So this is a good amount. This is a good amount. And you can see how we've structured this. So paraphrasing, overview, group 1 and group 2. So clear logical groups. And we are pulling important areas of the data, but we're not pulling everything, but we're touching upon little bits of across the board. So we've compared and contrasted between the groups and the ages, so I think that's good. Okay, so hopefully a table, as you can see, is not too different from, say, a bar chart really, I know it can be intimidating, and it's if you're quite a visual person, then having a lot of numbers can be daunting. I completely understand. So if we break it down though, it's we approach it in the same way as we would a pie chart or a bar graph or a line graph or any other question. So I hope that's helped today. Okay, then let's go into our second task one of the day, and we're going to look at a bar chart. So these might be more familiar to you. They are definitely quite a popular chart that can come up in the arts exams. So one that you should be confident in and familiar with. They can stand alone, or they could be with other types of charts as well. So let's have a look at one today. The bar chart below shows the popularity of well-known Instagram accounts in 2018 and 2021. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Well, as you can see, we're going to tackle this the same way as we did the last one. So we're going to select and report the main features and also make comparisons where relevant. So again, we're not going to compare and contrast everything, but we are just going to pick the most important things and then go from there. So same approach. Hopefully you can see that once we break it down, we're just doing the same thing. We're approaching each question the same way. Okay, then here is the bar chart itself. So on the x-axis, we've got the Instagram accounts. You might know some of these people. People like Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, The Rock, and Ronaldo as well. And on the y-axis, we have the influencers. They're millions of followers. So it goes from 0 to 350 million. A lot of followers. Okay, so initial thoughts then. Wow, 2021 saw an increase for all accounts in followers, particularly Cristiano Ronaldo, I would say. Okay, so now let's think about our groups, and quite simply I'm going to just make this as straightforward as possible for myself. Let's just do the 2 years and we'll compare and contrast between them. So 2018 and 2021. 2021 saw an increase of followers for all accounts, particularly Cristiano Ronaldo. You might be a fan of his at home. Okay, so this is quite a straightforward one, I think. We're again making it easy for ourselves. We're not overcomplicating this at all. Right, so we have our question. We have those nice words that we can refer to so we're not repeating ourselves. And of course, we've got the data. So what's the first thing that we need to do? We need to paraphrase this sentence here. The bar chart below shows the popularity of well-known Instagram accounts in 2018 and 2021. Okay, the bar chart, difficult to paraphrase, so we're going to keep that the same. The bar chart displays or provides information about regarding Instagram or Instagram accounts and followers in both 2018 and 2021. Okay, let's reread. The bar chart provides information regarding Instagram accounts and followers in both 2018 and 2021. Regarding infamous, maybe, Instagram accounts. Maybe we can leave it at that actually, because that encompasses everything really. Instagram accounts, we're looking at the information for everything. Okay then, so that sounds okay. We've paraphrased as much as we can. Some words are, you don't want to lose the meaning, so we've kept some in, like Instagram, that's fine. And the years, of course. Okay, so what is our overview then? We want to say that the numbers of followers increased significantly, past tense, because 2021. We're now 2023, halfway through. The numbers of followers increased significantly for all accounts in 2021, or particularly for Cristiano. We'll make sure we spell his name correctly. Ronaldo. Okay, so we're really just setting up the essay for ourselves to go into more detail here, and in the body we'll we'll pull figures from the bar chart itself, so we'll go into specifics now. Okay, so group number 1, 2018. In 2018, what could we say? All accounts were well, they're all in a sort of that's about 90 million, and the highest is about 150 million. So we could say all accounts had between 90 million and 150 million. Instead of followers, maybe users engaged with them. Okay, let's go into specifics. So Selena Gomez is the highest, is the most popular. Selena Gomez is, or was, the most popular compared with other celebrities with 150 million. With 150 million, we don't need to say followers every time. Okay, who shall we draw upon next? We don't have to talk about all of them. In fact, that's, like we said before, the criteria. So we'll just pick a few to talk about. Maybe The Rock, because he's at the 90. The Rock. And we're using capitals because these are names, proper nouns. The Rock, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you might know him as. The Rock is holding, or held, the least amount of interest with 90 million. I know it's still a lot, but compared to the other users, well, actually, because we've stated this, maybe we don't need to talk about The Rock. We can talk about Selena Gomez, but we've already discussed 90 million, so maybe we can pick on other information. That's okay. Kylie Jenner was just higher than The Rock. Who was the least popular She had, just shy of 100 million. She had just shy of 100 million. Okay, now maybe we could talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, Ronaldo. On the other hand, surpassed the 100 million to reach, let's have a look, 110 million in 2018. Okay, let's read this back and see how we feel. In 2018, all accounts had been between 90 million and 100 million, 50 million users engaged with them. Selena Gomez was the most popular compared with other celebrities with 150 million. Oh, sorry, I've completely... See, this is why it's important to go back. And 150 is there. So I'm thinking, 125. Very easy mistake to make. So it's so important to just read back and double check. There we go. Good point there. Okay, so 125. Yes, about halfway between the two. Selena Gomez was the most popular compared with other celebrities with 125 million. Kylie Jenner was just higher than The Rock, who was the least popular. She had just shy of 100 million. Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other hand, surpassed the 100 million to reach 110 million. Let's just check that that's okay. 110, yeah. In 2018. Okay, I think that's a strong group. We've double checked the figures, which is really important. And we've edited as we've gone along. So now let's go into our second group, which is, of course, the 2021 group. In 2021, there was a steep increase in followers for all accounts. There we go. We're opening this up to dive into more detail. Let's have a look. So, Selena Gomez, we could talk about how she's actually now the least popular. Previously had the most interest in her account. 3 years later, she has had the least with, we're thinking about maybe 245 million. Okay, Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, and The Rock are all within this 250. They don't waver too much. I would say, in fact, they're all quite similar. So let's talk about that. Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, and The Rock have notably, that's a good word to use, notably similar statistics. All very close to the 250 million mark. The Rock reaching slightly over. And we could say, he maybe reaches, let's see, so we've got 50 here, maybe 5, Yes, that's okay. It's hard to tell. So we've grouped them together. Okay, now let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo saw saw the biggest, the most significant climb, and in 2021 was the most followed account at, how many did he have? 300 and maybe 20, I would say. Okay, let's read this back and see how it sounds. In 2021, there was a steep increase in followers for all accounts. Selena Gomez previously had the most, who previously had the most interest in her account, 3 years later had the least with 245 million, and we're checking the numbers here. Yes, that's okay. Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, and The Rock have notably similar statistics, all very close to the 250 million mark, The Rock reaching slightly over. Cristiano Ronaldo witnessed the most significant climb, and in 2021 was the most followed account at 320 million. Okay, so we've seen our 2 groups, we've compared between the 2, we've pulled interesting significant data from both of them, but we haven't talked about everything. That's not what we need to do. So let's check the words. Okay, so this comes to 166 words. So we're just over the 150 limits. You might want to add something in here, but we also want to be careful that we're not talking about every aspect. But you're welcome, if you've got, enough time, you can put in some more details there. Well, I hope that's been helpful. Today we've looked at a table and a bar chart as well. We followed the same structure as we do for every task 1. It doesn't matter if it's a table or a pie chart or a bar graph in this case. We still approach it in this way. So hopefully that's helped with you at home, and let us know if you've got any questions. We really like to hear from you, and we'll see you next time.